Hi, and welcome everybody to the Wise Guys Sports Betting Podcast right here on the Picks and Parlays YouTube channel. My name is Ross Benjamin. I'm joined by fellow picksandparlays.net handicappers, Mr. Sean Higgs and Mr. Jesse Schule. It is Tuesday, the 19th, and we have March Madness upon us, folks. And by the way, before we get to our guest and also the games that we're going to cover today, we got three of them in the NCAA tournament on Friday, three winners stacked up for you. But friendly reminder, right now at picksandparlays.net, for any of the handicappers, including us three, we have a March Madness special, $199. That's it. $199 will get you all sports, just not the NCAA tournament, all sports throughout the NCAA championship games. So great special there in line. Again, I know a lot of you like to dabble in on a daily basis and pay $35, $40, $50, sometimes more. That's okay. But if you're a guy that wants to, especially at this time of year, if you want to bet every day when it comes to March Madness, you'll be well suited to take advantage of that offer. That's $199 will get you all sports right now, March Madness special through the NCAA tournament championship game. Sean, how are you, my man?
Pretty good. And let's be honest, Ross, they will definitely buy an individual package instead of saving money and getting something where you get all sports, baseball, NBA, hockey. I don't know. People are strange.
Yeah, but Sean, here's the thing. It's people don't realize at $199, if you're just buying the NCAA tournament on a daily basis, if you don't want to play the other sports, you don't have to. It's still a value. Okay, if you just want to play the NCAA tournament at $199, you're going to save a ton of money throughout the course of the tournament and on one handicapper. Okay, and again, I mean, you could get two handicappers at $199 a piece and still save a ton of money. Jesse, how are you, my man?
Well, Ross, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink. I'm doing all right. Yeah, I've heard that before. I've seen it many times over. But, yeah, I took the day off yesterday, Ross. I needed a break. It's kind of overwhelming, when Selection Sunday and then you got to prep for all these tournament games, and you can't forget about the NHL, the NBA, and Major League Baseball starting up. There's a lot of work to do these days, but I do have a full card of tournament games. I'm fully prepped, and I'm ready to just sink right into this.
Yeah, we all are at this time of year. I'm coming off a great March Madness last year and looking forward to duplicating that effort this year in the NCAA tournament specifically. I will have some NIT plays as well. And Sean, tell the folks a little bit about what you may have coming up over at picksandparlays.net before we get to our picks.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm already locked in here. I have 18 basketball games so far between the NIT. No CBI or CIT yet for me. So there is that. But I got packages up for today and tomorrow. Thursday. Actually, I don't even know what day it is today. You start doing videos. I forget what day it is. So I got Tuesday, Wednesday games up. Thursday is about to be loaded up. It's, I got to get all the packages up. But I have the plays are up. So that's why you buy a weekly pass or a tournament pass, because lines move. You don't have to wait till, hey, it's a 2:15 tip on Thursday. It's 2:00. Who do you got today? Well, chances are we've already bet that game and the line's moved 1.5, and you're at the window looking for a better number. Can't do that.
I'm going to say this because you're going to get lambasted by a couple people. There's no CIT anymore.
There's no CIT. I thought what's it called? There's a third tournament.
I thought it was just a CBI and the CIT disbanded. I may be wrong, but that's what I thought I read.
I don't know. I thought there's some kind of other tournament going today. I thought it's a CIT.
No, it's a CBI.
Is it? Oh, all right.
Yeah, I believe. Again, I may stand. I just want to, there's sometimes
Corpus Christi's playing somebody.
They're looking to expose any little weakness they can at times, and we just try to correct. Again, I'm not trying to show Sean up or vice versa. I just want to make sure that everybody knows we're in the know. All right, let's get to our games. All right, let's start with Jesse, and we got a good one here, Jesse. And people don't realize how good Grand Canyon is, I don't think. And they're taking on St. Mary's. And right now, St. Mary's is a 5.5-point favorite. The total in this game is 131.5. St. Mary's coming off a fabulous season that saw them not only win the regular season title in the West Coast Conference, but win the conference title or conference tournament title as well, defeating Gonzaga in 2 out of 3, which has always been their major flaws. They haven't been able to get over that hurdle, beating Gonzaga on a consistent basis. But anyway, what's your take on this game, Jess?
Yeah, I mean, St. Mary's is riding high, beating Gonzaga not once, but twice. But guess what, Ross? A lot of teams beat Gonzaga this year. I don't think much of Gonzaga, to be honest with you. I think Gonzaga's, they've got a pretty cupcake matchup in the first round, but I think Gonzaga's stay in the tournament will be short. And yeah, I like St. Mary's. They're a good team. On their best day, they can be a great team. But I think they're susceptible to an upset, and I like this Grand Canyon team even more. I'm inclined to take the points with Grand Canyon. You look at this team last year, they're returning to the tournament after getting knocked out in the first round against Gonzaga last year. But last year's Gonzaga team was far superior to this year's Gonzaga team, in my opinion. And they hung with Gonzaga. That was an 8-point game. I'm sure they covered. I'm sure they were more than an 8-point underdog against Gonzaga. And now they're getting 5.5 against St. Mary's. And they've got 3 starters returning from that team that played Gonzaga last year. And in addition to that, they've got a senior transfer, Grant Foster, their leading scorer, who comes over from DePaul. He's obviously their best player. And they are a superior free throw shooting team to St. Mary's. In fact, St. Mary's is one of the worst in the West Coast Conference, shooting just 67.8% from the free throw line, which is a complete flip from the St. Mary's that I used to remember a few years back. They used to be one of the best shooting teams in the country, but not no more. And Grand Canyon, 75.3% from the free throw line. That could come into play down the stretch. I will take the points. I'll take Grand Canyon. Give me the 5.5.
Grand Canyon plus 5.5 over St. Mary's. And you know, Sean, Grand Canyon, for people who aren't familiar with Grand Canyon, it's a college located in Arizona. And this team did beat San Diego State earlier in the season. They also played South Carolina extremely tough, losing, I believe, by 6 or 7. So this is a better than advertised Grand Canyon team.
It was their only non-conference loss, Ross. Their only loss in non-conference play was against South Carolina by 7.
And again, I'm going to go back to what you said about Gonzaga. They didn't start the year very well. They finished strongly, and then they laid an egg in a championship game. And I beg to differ with you on Gonzaga's first-round matchup. McNeese State's a lot better than people are going to realize, and you're going to. That's a game I'm really eyeing the underdog on. So just to give you an idea where I'm going, maybe going on that matchup. But anyway, Sean, your thoughts on what Jesse had to say, or anything that I said?
Listen, I like Grand Canyon. I'm just worried. I like all these 12 seeds, which is last year they went 0-5. They didn't cover a game, or 0-4 rather. These 5-12 matchups, and I like them all. And I'm just trying to think, like, which one is going to be the one everybody runs to? Is it going to be Grand Canyon? Is it McNeese because it's Kansas? I mean, I like Grand Canyon. And I look at this line, it's 5.5. It looks low. It's like the Gonzaga line. Like, you see that kind of number, you're like, yeesh. You know, a 6 there to McNeese for Gonzaga. I tend to agree here with Jesse. I mean, Grand Canyon's a team that's overlooked, but it's sort of like people are going to be hip to them. I'll take the points with Grand Canyon with you, though. I'm locked in the other ones. We're hooking it up to the train. Let's go. We'll get them all here, Ross. I think Ross is frozen. Right. He looks like he's half asleep. Oh no, he's alive. I have you frozen on my screen, Ross.
Can you guys hear me? All right,
we can. I don't know. You might want to go out and come back in.
Yeah.
All right. So let me introduce the next game, and I'll do that. TCU and Utah State is Sean's game right now. TCU is a 3-point favorite, 151.5. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, so like a 9-8 matchup here. And what has TCU done to warrant being a favorite here, Jesse? Is it, it's the Big 12 and we're the best conference ever? Talk about the bias towards the the Mountain West. You lose 3 or 4 coming into the tournament. Then you win a couple, or they won a game or whatever in the Big 12 tournament. TCU, their best wins at Baylor, a crazy overtime game, winning on the fly at last second. You beat Houston by 1. You beat Houston. They lost 3 times this year, 4 times. That's super. You got a neutral loss to a Mountain West team in Nevada by 12 points. And Utah, you beat San Diego State, Boise, Colorado State, all teams here in the tournament. You beat San Fran, who's a decent kind of on par with, I think, with a TCU kind of club, except they're in the WCC and not the Big 12. And you're going to give me 3 points with a team who was the number 1 team in a pretty good Mountain West club. Sign me up, Aggies. Let's go. These Aggies are going to remind you of the A&M Aggies of football running all over your TCU. Although I shouldn't say that because Texas A&M football hasn't been that great lately. So, but
all right,
Utah
so
State.
No concern here, Sean, for the lack of success that Utah State has had over the years in the first round of this tournament.
And they're favored, they're losers. I mean, I get it. They were.
Yeah.
Are they not the trendy team? Because before they were favored in the spot. They were favored. Now they're a dog.
All right.
And maybe I'm just high on the Mountain West. I mean,
I'm high on the Mountain West as well. This, like you said, this team during regular season action was the number 1 team in the Mountain West Conference. So your point's well taken. I just get a little concerned, Jesse, when you have a team or a program that's hasn't been able to get over that hump in the first round of the tournament on a consistent basis. And they put together some pretty damn good seasons over the course of the last decade. But anyway, Jesse, your thoughts?
You might feel a little bit better about it, Ross, if you look at Jamie Dixon's career record in the NCAA tournament, because I saw his name on a list of the worst coaches as far as record was, one of the worst in NCAA tournament history. So there's that. We did speak about this yesterday, the 3 of us, and I said, a couple weeks ago, we were all rubbing our hands together with the prospects of getting Mountain West teams as underdogs in the NCAA tournament. And to much of our disappointment, the majority of the Mountain West teams are favorites in their first round matchups. Well, here's one that's getting points. So it seems to fit the bill. And this was technically the best of the bunch, as Ross alluded to, finished first in the regular season. So, How can you not grab the points here?
Yeah, and the difference is, to Sean's point, is in the past, the Mountain West Conference was a 1 or 2 bid league. In Utah State, the majority of the time, if not every time, that they made the NCAA tournament was an automatic qualifier. In this particular instance, they're not. They actually played in what, in the committee's eyes, a strong enough schedule. And had enough quad 1 or quad 2 wins, whatever the phrases they use these days, to get an at-large bid. So it's a whole different aspect of how we look at this game. So yeah, Utah State plus a 3. I don't like this game myself, but I hope Jesse and Sean are right for their sake and for the viewers' sake as well. All right, let me get to my game, and that's New Mexico and Clemson, and talk about another Mountain West Conference team here with New Mexico, who's coming off an impressive run, guys, in the Mountain West Conference tournament, winning 4 games in 4 days. And Jesse, we talked about this on a prior show. It's sometimes these 4 games in 4 days winning. How much is it? We're not concerned as much on the physical aspect as how much it takes out of a team, because these kids are 18 to 21 years old. And there is a break between Saturday and Friday. They got a 6-day break between the Mountain West Conference game, tournament championship game, and this contest on Friday. But the emotional toll it takes to go through a tournament and know that your chances hinge on winning a conference tournament, because basically it might have been up in the air for New Mexico, even if they lost that conference championship game. I thought they did enough to win, but still, it's a lot of energy to spend. Having said that, the number 11 seed, New Mexico Lobos, are a 2-point favorite in this game against the number 6 seed. And Jesse, what's going to be my next statement?
The bookmakers are trying to tell us something, Ross.
Think like an odds maker, because you're getting a number 11 seed who's played 4 games in 4 days the week before to make the tournament, with their tournament lives on each and every game at stake. And they're taking on a ACC team, Power 5 conference team that fared pretty well this year. But, if it looks too good to be true sometimes in sports betting, more times than not it is. And I think this is a textbook example. This is a Clemson team. The last time we saw them was in the ACC tournament. They got hammered. I mean, hammered against not North Carolina, not Duke, not Virginia, but Boston College, 76-55. And they were a 7.5-point favorite in this game. Here's another thing to keep in mind. Neutral floors, okay? We get these home and away splits during the course of the season, and we factor that into our handicapping on a daily basis. New Mexico on a neutral floor this year, Jesse, 8-0 straight up in ATS on a neutral floor. Not only the 4 wins last week in the Mountain West Conference, go back to their non-conference portion of the schedule, 4-0 straight up in ATS in those games as well. Clemson, the last 3 games they played, Boston College, Wake Forest, Syracuse, none of which are in the NCAA tournament. They gave up 77.3 points, and those teams combined to shoot 49.1%. And boy, oh boy, that spells trouble to me when you got a New Mexico team that plays at a tempo that's about as fast as anybody in the country. And that claim could be backed by just looking at the analytics at KenPom in that regard when it comes to offensive tempo. And here's a scary thing. They play at that fast offensive tempo, and they continue to do so throughout the Mountain West Conference tournament. But defensively, they really locked down during the Mountain West Conference tournament, holding opponents to 61 points per game and less than 40% shooting. I like New Mexico here. Now, here's the thing. Why don't I want to lay to 2 points? Because I'm getting 135 on the money line. And ask yourself this, folks, for those of you who play baseball, do you hesitate to lay 135 on a Major League Baseball favorite? Well, that I don't like to go over 140, but if you're going to give me 135 and the juice only counts when you lose, the last thing I want to do is get a push if they win by 2 or they win by 1. That's not a sign of weakness, folks, because, again, if you're going to take a team, you hope they're going to win by more than 2 points, okay? But, it's sports betting. You never know. I'm going to take New Mexico here, minus 135 over Clemson. Jesse.
Well, Ross, specifically in the tournament, you see a lot of games decided by a buzzer beater, and the last thing you want to do is be laying 1.5 or 2 points. And if anybody's interested, they could check out my Twitter page. I've posted a graphic of my record with moneyline college basketball plays, not for the last week or month or even year, but the decade since 2014, 65%. 65% with moneyline plays. So at minus 135, that's pretty profitable, Russ.
Yeah, my NBA moneyline plays over at picksandparlays.net since I've been there, 39-15. Okay, that's on NBA moneyline plays. And again, I don't lay more than 140, folks. That's not me. Again, I'm not going to ask you to do something I wouldn't do myself. But Sean, anyway, your thoughts on this matchup?
I agree on the New Mexico, all aspects of it, all aspects. And I got to say, CBI and CIT both back for 2024, Ross. They're both in action.
All right, well, it's good to know.
The CIT had been on hiatus, but they're back. They are back.
Okay.
The CIT.
Well, we were both right then. I thought I saw they were on hiatus, but good. That's more action for us. So I just want to make sure, Sean.
There was like a bunch of games Saturday. I'm like, what conference? Who's playing on Saturday? And it's all on. It's not even at conference home sites. It's all in Florida. They're all playing in Florida. So it's like a mini tournament. It's like a November tournament going on. They're all in one arena.
We got a CBI, we got a CIT, and we got major programs that were bubble teams or had good records that are turning down NIT bids. What's college basketball coming to with these NIL deals and this transfer portal? Man, they need to do something, and need to do it fast. Anyway, just a friendly reminder, folks, all 3 of us, handicapper over at picksandparlays.net, $199 March Madness special will get you all sports throughout the NCAA championship game being played in early April. So great value there. Also, by the way, if you have not subscribed to Picks and Parlays YouTube channel, take a second to do so. It costs you absolutely nothing. Click on your YouTube settings and click that alert notification bell for Picks and Parlays YouTube channel. You'll be notified immediately upon any of the videos or podcasts on this channel being released. So it's a convenience for you. And Jesse, there's a like button underneath. And this is very important, folks, because this like button goes a long way in determining if you like what you see with this show. And I know it's a different format than when you're used to with these 3 or 4 minute free pick videos. But if you like this format and you feel like it's entertaining to you and we're bringing you something you haven't had before, Jesse, what should they do with the like button?
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button, folks. You can even touch it or tap it. That's okay, too. Just a small token of your appreciation for the time, work, and effort we put in to bringing you a quality podcast once a week here on the Picks and Parlays YouTube channel. Until the next time, for Jesse Schule, Sean Higgs, and Ross Benjamin, take care and God bless, folks.